Hello, this is Bill Scheid from the Systems Lab with some really exciting research on the PRX Intraday System using GBTC on 2-minute bars with the 50 SMA. I'm going to walk you through how I arrived at this research. This is the system I started paper trading last week. So the first thing I did was to load up the PRX strategy, 2-minute bars, GBTC, 50 SMA. I'm using risk at 1,000, and so on first pass we can see we have some pretty good numbers. 91R on 231 trades, profit factor of 1.94, expectancy of close to 0.4, which is really outstanding, and a max drawdown of minus 13.7. Now you'll notice that there are no EOD exits, end of day exits on this. Of course, we built the PRX strategy for crypto, which normally trades 24/7. Of course, I would not hold GBTC overnight on 2-minute bars. That's some pretty large gap risk there. And as you can see, if we look at the largest winning trade, there's a 17.7R winner and a minus 4.9R loser. And those indeed are from overnight gaps, which we can see in the charts here. Get in on the 8th, hold it overnight, get out on the 9th, and same thing here, get out on the 5th, hold it overnight, get out on the 6th. So we are going to go through the process of how we eliminate these overnight holds. Before we do that, I think it's pretty interesting to just look at the data as a whole. So this is using a tool called Trader View. View is spelled V-U-E. Some interesting numbers in here. Our SQN is 2.5. We can see the same profit factor, 1.94. We can see our same 91R. Average hold time, 5 hours for winning trades, 44 minutes for losing trades. This is our equity curve with a 20-period moving average here and some Bollinger Bands. The blue is the actual equity curve. We can see that it's been profitable all 3 months of the year so far. And here's our performance by both intraday and multi-day. So what we're going to do here in just a second is we're going to eliminate those overnight holds. Before we do that, an interesting bit of data here, performance by time of day. We're going to be zooming in on this morning session, which we can tell already looks pretty good. I like to look at what's going on the rest of the day. It's actually fairly solid. Of course, these giant winners towards the end of the day, these are our overnight holds. And here's our scatter plot scaled by P&L on the vertical axis and our trade number on the horizontal axis. Here's that giant overnight winner. Here's that giant overnight loser. Now, let's filter out the data that we're not looking for, and we're just going to go entries from 9:34 to 10:58. Now, why are we picking 9:34 instead of 9:30? Well, we've seen before that what happens on big gaps is if we get an entry signal from that 9:30 bar, flipping the PSAR to the long side, sometimes those big gaps will just consolidate sideways afterwards. And we're not really trying to catch gaps with this system. What we're trying to do is catch trends. So if we set that entry for 9:34, what we're looking for is we want the 9:30 bar to be continuing the downtrend from yesterday. And then we want to see the entry, the setup happen on the 9:32 bar. So that's where the PSAR is flipping to the long side, and then we're in at the open of the 9:34 bar. So we're basically using this as a way to filter out those big gaps. And 10:58, because I usually like to trade the morning session until 11, that's my last entry time, although I will continue to trail stops if I'm already in a trade past 11. So let's check out our stats here. We have a total gain of 24.5R. We have an SQN of 2.2. We have an expectancy of almost 0.8, which is just fantastic. Profit factor of 4.65, which is outstanding. Average hold time about an hour for winning trades. Average hold time for losing trades, 16 minutes. I like to look at our drawdown here. Average drawdown, minus 0.85R, not bad at all. Biggest drawdown is only minus 1.9R. Average number of days in a drawdown is 12. Total number of days in a drawdown is 75, right? It's not every day that we're making new equity highs. And in fact, pretty much every system I've studied, you spend more time in a drawdown than you do making new equity highs. Although what's really nice is it only takes us 2 trades to get out of those drawdowns. So that's really shallow if it's only minus 1.9 and 2 in this data set. We're still profitable for every month of the year. Here we can see that we have indeed filtered out our overnight holds. All of our performance is coming from intraday. And what we're seeing here, performance by intraday duration, our winning trades, what we're basically are the longer ones. So we're letting our winners run and we're cutting our losers. Here's our performance by time of day by 15 minutes again. So looking pretty solid. The 10:15 and 10:30 hours are looking great. Here is our P&L by RN vertical and trade number horizontal. I like to see that we've got some nice and tight caps on our losses. So just a little bit bigger than 1R, but nothing real bad. And we're still catching some big winners there. I love to look at this chart too. So on the horizontal, we have our trade numbers, and on the vertical axis we have P&L as a percentage of MFE for gainers or MAE for losers. And the fact that we're catching such a high percentage of our MFE up here, I really love that. So here, for example, this is saying we caught about 85% of the MFE, and here we caught, let's say, 83%, and here we're back to 85%. The worst is 40%. I heard Chuck LeBeau one time. Chuck LeBeau is one of Van Tharp's favorite traders. He said that if you can catch 30% of a move, you're doing great. So here we're catching 40 all the way up to 85. I know sometimes we talk about how the PSAR can create a lot of open profit in a trade, which is true. As the trade is accelerating, it can take the PSAR a little bit to catch up. But here we're seeing that when all things are considered, the PSAR is really doing a fantastic job of catching a lot of what is available in these moves. So stay tuned. I'll be continuing to research and paper trade, prototype, and production trade this system, assuming all goes well, and I'll keep you updated. Thanks for watching.